Hello, my name is AJ. I'm your Hypoxia coach for today, and we have level 1.2 chair teaser. I'm very excited about today's progression, which is simply level 2 breathography. We're adding in our 2 beat breath retentions at the conclusion of each of our engaged exhalations, completely exhaling, loosening our ab ribbon around the waist on the soft shish and loud shish, and then holding our breath for 2 seconds. Why are we doing breath holds with core? Well, it's a wonderful way to improve the endurance and the stamina of our deep core muscles at the end of our exhalation with our ribbon loose around the waist. Many of us are stuck in a partial inhale, and it makes it so that we never get our deepest core muscles strengthened at the shortest phase, kicking on our low internal obliques or transversus abdominis, like all of these muscles that are so incredibly powerful for stabilizing the low back and preventing injury. And because if you aren't utilizing your entire breath cycle and moving to the end of your breath, you don't give yourself the full potential, the full opportunity to stabilize your lower back. So I'm going to teach you how to completely exhale and add in that 2 beat breath retention, also improving our body's carbon dioxide tolerance, which improves our blood and oxygen delivery to our working muscles in our exercise session, and also improves our relationship to stress outside the exercise session. How amazing is all of that? Let's begin. If you're working with a hypoxia coach and they've suggested a variation on this exercise, always follow that. That's there to optimize your program. Otherwise, this is a perfect starting place, so let us begin. The feet are planted nice and evenly on the ground. So we have a foot tripod, a big toe, a pinky, and a heel, and you're trying to equally plant that. If your chair is higher and your heels hover, that's totally fine. Just try to stay as relaxed as possible and focus on the weight pressing down just in the middle of the ball of the foot, right around about the third toe, driving that third toe down. Now, we're squeezing the ball, the knees are shooting a laser over the third toe, so we're not here, but we're here, connecting us more deeply to our core, and also using that ball for tactile feedback. If the ball starts moving around too much, then you know you've probably lost your pelvic stability, and so pay attention to what's happening there. Now, close your eyes for a moment. Are you equally weighted between the 2 sit bones as you sit on the chair? That's key, and just a key marker as to how stable you are in your pelvis even to begin. Now, ultimately, this is what the exercise looks like. We're just going to hold this lean back position and perform our engaged exhale, connecting to our ab ribbon. If you can't get your ab ribbon loose on the soft shish and loud shish, you either need to loosen your ab ribbon a little, sometimes in these ab exercises you have to, or you might need to just stay in the upright position and follow all of my cues until you have the connection and the strength to stay connected to those muscles as you move to that lean back position, okay? Now here, the hands are driving down into the ground. They're screwing into the chair. So if the chair were slippery, they'd turn out like that. And they're also pushing forward in space. So if the chair were slippery, they'd push forward. So you're screwing and then you're pushing forward. The shoulder blades are going to stay together the whole time. This is as much a posture exercise as it is a core exercise. Now, my stool, my 18-inch stool is pretty narrow. So I'm going to fold my hands under like this as I demonstrate. Maybe you're in the same situation as me. I love using this chair for the workouts, but you might have a chair that's a little bit wider and you can actually screw the whole hand, and that's also wonderful. But notice here how I'm just screwing the palms of my hands into the chair and I'm pushing my hands forward, but I'm also gripping the sides of the chair and I'm pulling my shoulder blades together. Now the head is pushing back in hypoxia headstands. The weight of your 20-pound head has a significant effect on your abdominal. So I want you to press the head back into a pair of imaginary hands and also pretend like it's getting lifted up from your occipitals, the base of your neck. You're lifting up, you're heightening the spine, you're creating height in the spine as you go through your exhales. You're shooting up against gravity, not compressing the spine, you're decompressing the spine. With this breath work, growing taller, I want you to visualize yourself growing taller. Now, in terms of visual system, you know, we always work it for cognition, nervous system, the muscles of the eyeballs. For today, we're just closing our eyes. That is the that is the cognition work. We're closing our eyes because I want you to visualize the connection, not only of heightening the spine, but of the abdomen, the connection between your abdomen and your ab ribbon. I want you to loosen your ab ribbon as you move to your complete exhale, and hold it loose for those 2 beat breath retentions. We got 4 breath cycles for today. Lean back a little bit, screw the hands, shoulder blades together, head stance. Equal weight between the sit bones. If you can, foot tripod, squeeze the ball. Let's take it from our posture. Zip up, inhale. Hiss, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 1, inhale 2, and blow. Loosen your ribbon. You're holding 1, 2, and inhale. Inhale. Shoulder blades together. You're holding 1, 2, Inhale, inhale. Hold 1, 2, inhale, inhale. Loosen your ribbon, you're holding 1, 2, and you're finished. I know. It's deceivingly challenging, right? One more point that I just want to mention that you may want to work on in future videos is finding your neutral spine in the teaser is a great opportunity to stabilize the spine. So when you lean back or even in the upright position, is your weight in the center of your sit bones, or is it forward, like sticking your tailbone out? Or is it behind, like rolling behind so the low back flexes, you know? So like, are you here, or are you here? I want you to be neutral spine. Of course, if you're working with a coach, they can help deduce that. And then when you lean back, try to maintain that lift and that pressure on about the same point of the bone. You might roll back a little, but if you start to roll back a lot and you start to feel the pressure on the tailbone, or more posterior in the butt, or you start to roll more forward on the sit bone and you start to feel the low back overworking, then you know you've lost your neutral spine and you want to go back up to the upright seated position.